constant disruption has impacted little things in a big way. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Priyadarshini Belur.
Very difficult for us, or say impossible for us, to even have this basic discipline or to bring out curiosity, because to do anything we have to be all alone and it is not happening. But as a
Not
general
audible.
evaluator,
Not
I
audible.
have to keep myself very
Can
focused
you be a
because I
little
am here
louder?
to give my final report. And to help me do my job better, I have a set of team. And this there is one team who call themselves "We are focused all the time, what come may." They are called as timer, accounter, and grammarian. Timer is so focused that he is counting our minutes and seconds. Our counter is also noting our hours and ums. And grammarian is such a good listener. He's just looking at every speaker and marking the first line, also the finishing line. So it's time for me to introduce my tag team today. I had one question to all my friends. I asked, what distracts you more? Is it gadget or human? And how do you all help yourself? Today's timer will be played by Toastmaster Aishwarya, and her answer was, "Oh, all the I feel very bad for this smartphone of hers." She says all the blame is on this smartphone because even if she switches it off, she keeps it in her pocket every 5 minutes. It asks her to check her message, and this has been a major distraction in her life, and she wants to come out of it very soon. So, Aishwarya, wishing you good luck with this. Can you please read out the objective of a timer? Over to you.
Sure, Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I'll time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Then the table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. So for table topic speakers, minimum 1 minute and maximum 2 minutes 30 seconds. So for the prepared speeches, it should range between 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card, and at 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. So for this prepared speeches, minimum 5 minutes and maximum 7 minutes 30 seconds. Then in terms of individual evaluation, it should range between 2 to 3 minutes. So at 3 minutes, at 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card, and at 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. So minimum 2 minute and maximum 3 minute 30 seconds. So please pin my video in the top so that you will be able to see the timer cards at the background. Thank you, Toastmasters. Over to you, Priyadarsh.
Thank you, timer, Aishwarya. Next is our counter. It's played by Toastmaster Amita. I had the same question. She says gadget is not to be blamed, it's all human who distracts her. And I asked her, how do you help yourself? Very simple, she just concentrates on her work. What an easy method to keep herself focused. So, our counter, can you please read out the objective?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. It's really good to play a tag role after a long time. So let me introduce my role as an accountant to the benefit of all guests and members. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means twice. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. I will also keep track of long pauses and many other filler words. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Amita. Today's grammarian will be played by Raghunath Mishra. I had the same question. He says definitely for him the distraction is only human, and the simple way is he walks out of that place if he feels he's being distracted. That was again a simple solution for a problem. Grammarian, can you please read out the objective?
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. So, good afternoon, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language uses. I will also take note of any misuse of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce to the word of the day. So today's word of the day, let me share my screen quickly, is crumble. Today's word of the day is crumble, a verb. It means fall to pieces, fall apart, or decay. And few sentences like a clay that mishandled may crumble or break. The twin towers of the World Trade Center crumbled into pieces after the terrorist attack. I suggest all the speakers to use this word during their speeches. And with that, I hand over to Toastmaster Priya.
Yes. Thank you, Grammarian. This was my first team, whom we call as TAG. I'll be back again with my evaluation team. Till then, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, well, coming back to the theme, what is the major disruption that you have gone through in life? Anybody can tell. COVID, yeah, very good. Anybody else?
Getting into a job.
Yeah, that is also one of the major disruption.
Internet.
Yeah, internet. Yeah, very good, very good, very, very nice. Did somebody say marriage? Marriage?
Definitely.
That is a major disruption according to me.
Getting into the comfort zone of home.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. Fine. Very good. Now, what is the next major disruption that is going to happen? Anybody have any idea?
Man living on the moon.
Yeah. Right.
Work life.
Yeah. So, because of this pandemic situation, the next major disruption that is going to happen is hybrid work model. So it is a blended model where some employees return to the workplace and others continue to work from home. So that is going to be a major disruption. And because of that, what is going to happen? Let us wait. But before that, let us complete all the prepared speeches. So the first section for today's Toastmaster session is to go through prepared speeches. So we have very nice speakers who are going to speak, but it is also very special today because the speakers who are going to talk are entrepreneurs. Not every day we listen to entrepreneurs, but this time both the speakers are entrepreneurs. So we would have definitely a good time. So the first speaker is John V. Jayakumar. He is providing a speech on presentation mastery, level 5, elective, leading in your volunteer organization. To talk about John V. Jayakumar, he is a co-founder and CEO of Superposition Technologies Private Limited and John B.J. Ventures. He is a best-selling author, inventor of 2 patents filed in United States Patents Office. Before calling him for his project speech, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Sharanya, to read out his project objectives.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So John is doing his pathways in presentation mastery level 5, leading in your volunteer organization. So the purpose of this project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience serving as a leader in a volunteer organization. Thank you. The time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saranya. Toastmaster John V. Jayakumar, servant leader, Toastmaster John V. Jayakumar. All the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Let me do a quick audio check. Can you give me a thumbs up if I'm audible? Excellent. 2.5 decades in the global corporate scenario. 2.5 years leading in volunteer organizations. Let me tell you this. I have learned a lot more leading in volunteer organizations. First of the day, fellow Toastmasters. What exactly did I learn leading in volunteer organizations? The first one is to lead with humor. Myself and Dr. Alagappan, both of us went to Fidelity to run a speechcraft program. Now, the first day, Alagappan introduces himself. This is what he says. I am Dr. Alagappan. Really, I am a doctor. The entire room burst with laughter. We had them right there. They used to regularly show up for the weekly speechcraft sessions. One day, Alagappan did not show up. So I tried to give the introductory speech with a little bit of humor. End of the speech, one of the employees raised her hands. I asked her, what is it? She said, next week, will Dr. Alagappan come or not? As soon as the speech was done, I called Dr. Alagappan and told him, you better show up for the meeting or it'll be only me. There will be nobody else. I also learned how to be meticulous. So this was my icebreaker speech. Achintya was the president at that time. One fine Monday morning, she calls me and says, John, you've been a member for a couple of months. I have not seen your icebreaker speech yet. This Saturday, it's your show time. I said, okay. Then I started to think, what should I deliver in my icebreaker speech? Monday through Friday, I sat down, quickly wrote a one-page script. Distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose is my mentor. I called him on the phone and told him, Sunil, tomorrow is my speech. I need you to help me to review my script. He said, John, sorry, I'm traveling. Do one thing. You call Distinguished Toastmaster Sauri and give him your script. He will help you. So I immediately called him. I told him the same question he asked me. When is your speech? I said, it's tomorrow. He said, no problem. Send it over. So he reviewed the script. 12 a.m. that same night, he sends me a review with 3 pages. And at the bottom, he writes, next time, give more time to yourself and others so we can do a better job. I thought to myself, I give him one night, he gives me 3 pages. I'll give him a week's time, he'll give me a booklet with his reviews. The next thing I learned is to give candid feedback from Distinguished Toastmaster VNS. When he has a point to make, he has to give feedback. He does it in a timely manner, right there. It's very candid and to the point. You know, when we give feedback in a corporate setup, we try to polish it a little bit. And I learned to lead with charisma. This was Ovations 2019, the Toastmasters Conference of District 82 under the leadership of Distinguished Toastmaster Suganti Periyasamy. See, I've been to a lot of conferences, but this one was at a completely different level. It is very easy to get funding and run corporate conferences because the company funds it. But to run a conference of that scale, from being in a non-profit organization like District 82 Toastmasters, that was a huge task to pull off. And it was done with such perfection. And it was because of her charismatic leadership. I learned to be dedicated and plan well in leadership from Distinguished Toastmaster Sundar. He led the Professional Speakers Association of India Chennai chapter for the period April 2020 to March 2021. So we have 52 weeks in the year. Out of that, he organized programs for 50 weeks. And I would tell you 98% of the work in planning who will be the speaker, talking to them, getting it, putting the agenda together and publishing it was done by Sundar. That's a different level of dedication. My dear fellow Toastmasters, Vice President of Medley Toastmasters Club from January to June 2019. Vice President membership for 2 terms. I've played from July 2019 to December 2019, and January 2020 to June 2020. 18 months leading in a volunteer organization in Medley. Then I went on and I led the Vice President membership area in the Professional Speakers Association of India, Chennai chapter. That's 2.5 years. Am I done? Hell no. I'm glad to share with you all that I have been elected as the head of membership for the Professional Speakers Association of India at the national level. Serving in a volunteer organization, I would say, has helped me more than what I have done for the organization. Are you ready to serve, Toastmaster of the Day?
Thank you, Toastmaster John Jagmar. That's a very inspirational one, and I'm thankful for sharing all those things which you have done so far. And I wish you all the very best. The next speaker is Toastmaster Kalyan, a very intriguing topic, I would say. When I went through the agenda, I was pulled into that topic of the speech. Thanks for selecting that topic. To speak about Toastmaster Kalyan, he's a professional process consultant to retail as well as restaurants. He's an architect, brand owner of food, and retail ERP. It is called as Ascent on Cloud. He's a Toastmaster since 2015, past president of Medley Toastmasters Club, Division K Director 2019 and 2020. Before calling Toastmaster Kalyan for speech, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Dinagaran, to read out his project objectives.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Kalyan is giving the speech to the pathway Innovative Planning and the project Connect Through Storytelling. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. The duration is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Kalyan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinagaran. After a long time seeing you, but what a transformation. Nice to look at. Nice to see you. Okay, please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Kalyan. Tamarind rice plus UNESCO plus UT equal to 21. Tamarind rice plus UNESCO plus UT equal to 21. Toastmaster Kalyan. All the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan. The title is Tamarind rice plus UNESCO plus UT is equal to 21 kilometers. Now, how many of you like tamarind rice? How many of you like road trips? Okay, I see a few hands. Wonderful. See, to me, in temple they serve tamarind rice. You all know that, right? It is not because tamarind rice becomes divine because they serve at temples. Because tamarind rice is divine, they serve that in temples. How many of you will agree with this? Right? Why 2, 3 hands? Whatever visibility I have, I see 3, 4 hands. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and my dear people who are present in this particular room. A set of friends decided, me and my set of friends decided to go on a road trip. Because this road trip will be there in everybody's agenda. Goa trip, road trip, and all will be there in every man's agenda. Set of friends, we decided to go on a road trip. The agenda was very simple. We need to leave Chennai on a Saturday morning, come back to Chennai on Sunday evening. So we left Chennai on a Saturday morning, 5 o'clock. People who live in Chennai, who cross down south on the road, they know the very first toll which comes after Tamram. If you are unlucky, the toll will take 15 to 20 minutes. If you are lucky, there again the toll will take 15 to 20 minutes. That is the time of the toll. This I am speaking about pre-FASTag days, not FASTag days. So we cross that particular toll. That particular toll, see, I am driving one particular car. In my car, I had Prasanna with me and Danya and Bintu. 4 of us were there in my car. And then Subbu and Sanal was in another car. Why Subbu and Sanal alone is another car? Subbu drives the car 120 kilometers. He drives, he puts his BMW to the maximum use. So he drives at 120, 130. Only Sanal is able to risk his life. So Sanal traveled with Subbu and his car. The plan was this: we will stop every 200 kilometers for a pit stop. We will go to Uti. First, we stopped at Ulundurpet Adayaranagoon. Ulundurpet Adayaranagoon is a place where you can just have, it's a very open air place where you can sit, speak, have breakfast, especially the mini tiffin and the kesari which they give at Adayaranagoon is beautiful. The ghee dripping kesari, not to be missed at all. Not to early morning ghee dripping kesari from 8 to be an Adayaranagoon is divine again. We had this, we had refilled petrol and then we used the place and then we had our breakfast. We started traveling again. I told you tamarind rice, at Danya's place, the tamarind rice used to be divine. So she brought specifically all her road trips, it's mandate, Danya brings her tamarind rice for the road trips. When we crossing Salem, we stopped at a place, we had our lunch, whatever tamarind rice and whatever snacks we purchased on the end route. We had that and then we went. When we reached Coimbatore, we stopped at a place that we wanted to fill petrol. So we just filled petrol, typical petrol pump dialogue. A card machine not working, sir. And Subbu came to our car and Subbu said, guys, have you got cash? Bindu said, I have cash. Then she searched for a purse. Her purse was not there. And we were thinking where the purse should have lost the purse. Prasanna was very sure he saw the purse at Adayaranagoon. So now what do we do? Whether we need to go to Ulundurpet or go to Ooty. Ulundurpet or Ooty. This was the dilemma. Because purse is there. First important thing, as I told you, we need to come back on a Sunday evening because Bindu had her US Embassy interview on Monday morning. So we need to come back to Chennai. In her wallet is what she had our passport and all the other important documents. We thought because we tried reaching Adayaranagoon, we could not get the phone numbers and everything. I remember speaking to one particular person in that particular branch where he served breakfast. His name was Kanaraj. In a casual conversation, he told what is what, and somehow we hunted some branch of Adayaranagoon, got Kanaraj's number, and then spoke to this man. He comfortably said, not to worry, sir. The wallet is very careful. I have put it in a big envelope, sealed it. It is with the manager. You can come. And we spoke to the manager. The manager said, he said, you will come tomorrow. He said, take 10 days, sir. Come back. The wallet will be safe. This is what the manager said. We were relieved. We traveled. We went to Ooty. Evening, we reached Ooty. On that day, we just roamed around in Ooty. And then it was 10, 11 o'clock. All others went to get the bed. And me, Sam, and Prasanna alone, we felt we will just go a little more time. And then we had street food and all those stuff. 1 o'clock, we have to go to the bed because we need to get up early in the morning, 4 o'clock. Why early in the morning, 4 o'clock? There is a company which is called Heritage now. This particular company runs marathons in UNESCO site. In Lovedale School, every May they used to conduct a marathon. We went for that particular marathon. On that particular marathon is when I specifically tried half marathon. That was the stupidest decision of life. Because what happens in high altitude, already there is an oxygen level drawback. You go to Ooty there, which is chilling cold, where you are dry foot, and then you try 21 kilometers. Though it was the stupidest decision, it was a beautiful decision because I ran into the woods, I ran into streams, I ran into main roads. It was a lovely marathon experience which I had. We had this marathon there. We came back. And then the same road trip continued again here. When we coming back to Ulundurpet, we got Bindu's wallet, then we reached Chennai. I always see life this way. Let it be small thing or big thing, tamarind rice or kesari or MSCO or road trip. If you put your best, if you put in whatever you want to do, life is full of beautiful experiences. Crossing a door, either you can get bored or you can enjoy it. Eating a kesari or going to a temple or tamarind rice or UNESCO or run. It's absolutely how you look at life. What is your take, Toastmaster, of the day?
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyan. Thanks for taking us through a road trip. Now we have listened to two variety of speeches, ranging from leadership to road trip, and kesari and tamarind rice and all. So I would like to call that timer to ask, if there are any timing disqualifications on both the speeches.
No, Toastmaster Saravanan. Yeah, all are qualified.
Thank you, timer. Now, we would be having the voting screen on our voting button on our screen. See, please vote for the best speakers. Thank you. Now we will go to the next section. That is a very interesting section. The first section of a prepared speech session is over. We will go to the next section. But before going to that, I just wanted to ask from a theme perspective, what are the challenges you face because of the remote working? Any volunteers?
Heavy stress.
Sorry?
Heavy stress. We are facing very.
Yeah. Exactly. The stress, because there is no boundary of work life now. Everything is now combined. You get out of the bed, do the work, and then go to the bed. You notice what is the mail that is coming in your laptop, mobile, and all. So there is no way of segregating the work and life nowadays. The second most important thing what I see here is the teams are more siloed because they are not seeing in persons. So that is also another problem. The third thing what I'm looking at is the network is totally lost because we don't have that social network because of this remote working atmosphere. And what happens because of that is we are stopping innovation. Okay? Because any corporate, there are three factors that are more important. One is to critically look at your tasks which you're doing, simplify, innovate, and modernize. So these are the three important factors that are needed in corporate life, and we are losing out of that because of this remote work culture. So what we have to do, let us see in the next section. But before that, let us go to the table topic session. This is a very critical as well as important session. And one of the importance of being a Toastmaster of the day is you will not be called for this session. So the table topic master will have variety of people, but they will not call some of the role players. So I'm very fortunate today. But for taking us through this session, we have an young and dynamic as well as energetic Toastmaster, Toastmaster Dinesh. He is an MBA graduate working in a construction company in Chennai. And he has just won the Triple Crown Award recently for Medley. And then he's the current VPM as well. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dre Saravanan, for the warm welcome. A very good evening to all our Toastmasters and guests. This is the second session of today's meeting. It is the table topic session. Table topic session is nothing but an impromptu speech session where a topic will be given to a random member and they have to speak about the topic. The minimum time required to speak is 1 minute and the maximum time limit is 2 minutes 30 seconds. If you speak within 1 minute and 2 minutes 30 seconds, you'll be qualified to get voted for the best table topic speaker award. If you speak more than 2 minutes 30 seconds or less than 1 minute, you will be disqualified. The purpose of table topic session is essentially to make anyone think on the feet. And this is one session which is open not only for members but also for guests also. And I hope to call upon many guests for today's table topic session. And I start today's session. Can you see the screen? Okay. I'm not able to change the slide. Yeah. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. For this, I call upon DTM Thomas T. Abraham, sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dinesh. You have given me the question and you have given me the most brilliant answer in the world. Thank you very much for that. I don't have to search for an answer. The question is, how can you shake the world in the most gentle way? The answer is Mahatma Gandhi. The answer is Nelson Mandela. The answer is Mother Teresa. The answer is all those wonderful, great people who had ideas and they implemented it the most peaceful way. I think that's where the catch is. We are result oriented, many of us are. Hitler was also result oriented, but I think some of them often searching for the result, forget the means. So when you keep the means very much in focus, you get people who shake the world in a gentle way. Closer to the current times, I must say there is one person who is not given enough credit. He is the guy who started WhatsApp, Jan Coates. Fantastic story. He had his own Gestapo in Poland, to worry about. They couldn't speak because the walls had ears. So he migrated to America. He didn't have a computer. He went through the real hard times. But one thing he said, I want the people to be able to communicate, and see how gently he has shaken the world. Today, Medley cannot exist, cannot survive, cannot operate without your WhatsApp group. And he made sure, even to a cutthroat monopoly like Facebook, Zuckerberg, he said, no charging for this particular communication means. How gentle. In this 21st century cutthroat, dog-eat-dog world, here was a gentle soul who learned from his childhood and wants to give the benefit of what was denied to him in the most gentle, free way. Kudos to Jan Coates. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So once again, I'm having a small problem to changing the slides.
Dinesh, just try to go out and come back in again.
Okay.
I think if you do a toggle, it will help.
I think it's taking time if I do a toggle.
Yeah. Can you read it out, please?
Yeah. Okay. That will be better. You never fail until you stop trying. You never fail until you stop trying. It's a quote by Albert Einstein. For this, I call upon our new member, Toastmaster Venkataseshan.
Yeah, thanks, Dinesh. Every journey starts with the first step. If you don't make that first step, you are not sure whether you are towards your journey. But the step towards forward may end up either successful or failure. As the quote says, if you are successful, then you have laid the path to the people who are following you. And if you have failed, then you are giving them a path which they shouldn't follow so that they could be successful. So every attempt that we make in each of our work life or your personal life is going to end either as a success or a failure story. But if it is a failure story, you should not crumble upon and lay down and give up your journey forward. It is up to us how we bounce back from those failures, which determines how far or how high you go further in your next step forward. So it is very critical and important that you understand the success is not determined whether you have reached the destination. The success is when you proceed forward, when you attempted a failure and how you bounce back from that and go forward towards your destiny. So it is very critical and important for us to understand failure is not the destiny. It is a milestone in your journey towards your successful life. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkataseshan, for the wonderful talk on how we should take failure. And our next topic is by Winston Churchill. It's a quote. One always measures friendship by how they show up in bad weather. One always measures friendship by how they show up in bad weather. For this, I call upon guest Nitya. Nitya, are you present?
I'm present. Can you please tell me the topic again, please?
Yeah, no problem. One always measures friendship by how they show up in bad weather. One always measures friendship by how they show up in bad weather.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, um, only one can know the real color of people only when they are low or in their failure. The persons who are helping us, only then we can understand. Um, only then we can understand uh, others. So we should be helpful when when some of our friends or relatives are in their lowest conditions, and we should help them mentally or socially or anything, whichever that would be helpful for them. Um, I could not continue it. Sorry.
Thank you, Nitya. It was a wonderful speech on how important friendship is.
Yeah.
And our next topic is quoted by former US President Donald Trump. As long as you are going to be thinking anyway, think big. As long as you are going to be thinking anyway, think big. And this topic is for guest Anshul.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for this chance. So this quote is by Donald Trump. As long as you're thinking anyway, think big.
Think big, yeah.
Yeah. As it is said even by our former president APJ Abdul Kalam, dream. So the main purpose is you dream, you have a process, you have a goal, you reach it. Unless you don't dream, you don't start to dream, you don't have anything set in your mind, you don't proceed, you don't take the step. Everything great has come only because of a dream. And just dreaming is not important. To start working on is also pretty important. As I can relate this to the first topic, like the first step to success is to start. So always just dreaming is not enough. You must also take the necessary steps to achieve it and make big. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anshul, for the brilliant table topic. And once again, you reiterated the most important point. Just dreaming is not important, and taking an action plan towards the dream is important. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
And my next topic is going to be a quote from the famous Hollywood movie Wolf of Wall Street. It says, "Hard work beats talent every time. Hard work beats talent every time." And for this, I call upon Toastmaster Pranav. Pranav, you there? Okay, I think Pranav is not with us. So I move forward the topic to our guest Sridhar.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I speak on the topic?
It's Pranav, is it?
No, this is Anshul. If Pranav is not available.
Anshul, but I think your topic is already completed. So it's a chance for another person.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
We'll call Toastmaster Shruti if she's available.
Toastmaster Shruti.
I can see them.
I think it's the hat trick for me then.
Yeah, correct.
I saw, I think guest reader is there with us.
Yeah, he's there. Shruti is there. And so also Shruti.
Okay. So I'll go back to our very old kind experienced member, Toastmaster Venkatesan sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dinesh.
Yeah. Sir, it's a quote from a Hollywood movie. Hard work beats talent every time. Hard work beats talent every time.
Thank you for the nice topic. Hard work beats talent every time. I would like to take my personal story. When I joined as a EDP in charge in my firm some 30 years back in 1990, they have shifted so many departments. First, initially, they put me, I have installed a network version 2.12, that networking. Then later, they put me that development. Then later, they put in testing. Finally, the department, they made me to find out the networking concept, to find out the fake websites and other things and all. I have developed because of my qualifications. And I thought that the additional qualification is to develop my skills in drafting the complaint and other things. Instead of that, I don't want to do any BL or BGL or any other thing. I thought I can write a trademark or any exam. The exam will be conducted by Commerce and Industries Minister in central government 5 years once. I went and I clicked that. For that, to click that examination, and I stood first in the South also. For that, my friend advised me that the trademark sections, rules, and public book, he noticed all the sections and rules and everything. And he told me that you should read all the policies and rules sections with the related rules and sections, and you can make it everything. The exam was notified within 25 days. Actually, it is posted in Mumbai. I applied for that and I went for that within 20 days. You won't believe that 9 to 5:15 is office time. After 6 o'clock, I used to read till 12 o'clock. I memorize everything, whatever I studied in the night time. That is up to 12 o'clock. Early morning, 4 o'clock, I used to wake up and I used to recollect all those things. My friend advised that. He was a IAS aspirant. He advised to me like that. And moreover, Toastmaster has helped me to attend the BioOC and I got 10 out of 10. That is why I stood first. That's why hard work will beat the talent. Thank you for the nice topic, Dinesh.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful table topic speech. You always inspire us with your speech, irrespective of the topic, sir. And
thank you.
My next topic is a quote from Dalai Lama. Silence is sometimes the best answer. Silence is sometimes the best answer. For this, I call upon Toastmaster Karthikeyan.
Karthikeyan isn't there. You could move over to...
So move to guest Rajini.
Yes. Hey, I'm here. So just I want to confirm the topic once more. A silent is the best answer, right?
Yeah, correct, sir.
Hello? Yes. Okay. So on the funny way, maybe I want to start with, right? So most of the time when I do an argument with my wife, generally I used to be in the silent. So the silence is the best way to answer my wife for most of the questions actually, or most of the arguments, right? So on the funny way. So apart from that funny, right? So whenever there is an argument or whenever you are moving in your position on level, right? So whenever there is put you in the trouble, when your subordinate asks in front of a group of member, you have to provide a very good answer. At that time, you should not be the silent. But when the argument goes more than the time which you think you should not be able to answer, sometimes you should be very silent so that they can easily understand your silent is not a solution where you can able to provide at the spot. But after the later stages, you have to call the person, you have to make them understand why I was silent at the time. Okay, so that is one point which I generally used to follow in my office. On other aspects, right? So when I have a discussion with my kids or on the real time in my family, most of the times the kids doing a kind of an argument between one another, right? So I generally used to give a kind of tips how to you have to avoid that argument by becoming silent, so that the others can understand silent is a best answer sometimes when the argument, if you want to stop an argument at this moment, actually.
Thank you very much, guest Rajini, for the brilliant speech.
Thank you very much.
I thought that you would say, since your name is Rajini, I speak for one time is equal to speaking 100 times.
That's
silence is the best answer.
Yeah, silence is the best answer, right? It's more than talking more than 100 times.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for remembering that quote. Actually, it's one of the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And My next topic is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt: "Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Believe you can, and you're halfway there." And for this, I call upon Toastmaster Ramesh Rajendran.
He's also gone.
Okay. I call upon guest Vinod. Vinod.
Please call Hariharan. Guest Hariharan.
Okay. Guest Hariharan.
Yes. Can you repeat the code?
Yeah, no problem. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Believe you can, and you're halfway there.
I would like to take an example from my own life to talk about this topic. So during my school days, I used to go through depression, and I went through a very difficult time during my school days. So I was not able to concentrate on my studies, and passing the board exams, my 12th board exams, was a huge task for me. But then I believed in myself, and of course from a lot of I got a lot of encouragement from a lot of well-wishers around me, and after receiving the encouragement from people around me, from my friends and family, I believed in myself, and then I came out with flying colors, and right now I'm studying in Madras Institute of Technology, which is a great college. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam studied in this college, and I'm proud to say that I'm part of the 2022 batch of MIT. So I believed in myself, and I feel that is the reason for my success. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari, for giving an inspirational speech from your personal life. I would like to check if Toastmaster Shruti is present.
She can't come. She's in the bus.
Okay. How about guest reader? Okay, then I'll call upon a timer to Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi.
Yeah, Dinesh. Yes, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Yes. Or it's a quote from Walt Disney: "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi.
Yeah, so it is a very nice topic. All the dreams comes true if you believe in yourself. So yes, definitely true. So during my childhood days, one of my dream is to become an engineer. So like I tried during my 12th standard. I studied very hard, and after I get to. I mean, I got in one of the top 10 colleges, a creamy college in Madurai, Tyagarajar Engineering College, and after that I got placed in one company, and now I'm working in uh, AstraZeneca as a project support. But still, I have so many dreams to become a product manager. Definitely, by improving my communication skills as well as my technical skills, definitely, I'll improve. And yeah, so if your dream, if you want your dreams to come true, so you please believe in yourself. So that's the end. Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, for taking upon table topic as well as doing the role of timer. Thank you once again. My next topic is from the movie Godfather. Great men are not born great, but they grow great. Great men are not born great, they grow great. For this, I like to call upon DTM Sampath Saurirajan sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, table topic master. You have given me the wrong topic. You know that I don't like to boast. And you are asking me a question about great men. Anyway, I shall try to talk in third person only. Great men are not born great, they are they grow great. This type of topics are coming. Leaders are not born great. They are made great. Probably we can extend it even to criminals. Criminals are not born criminals. They grow as criminals. There's no end to this. Naturally, we all think like Rock Lake, the newborn baby has got no positive or no negative traits. As he goes along life, he picks up a lot of things. So greatness also may come like this. A person can become great depending on what he reads, what he sees, with whom he moves, with whom he goes to learn things. Based on this, he may become great, or he may not. He may become a criminal also as well. So anybody becoming anything has got a big component of the associations and the actions done by the person. So this is not a very surprising result. So when we say the leader, where leaders are made, leaders are born or leaders are made. Leaders are not born, but they may be made from the very, very early childhood, depending on what they see around themselves. So great men also grow great as they go along life for the various reasons I already outlined. So this applies to everything, including great men. Back to you, David.
Thank you, DTM Sampath Saurirajan sir, for the inspirational speech. With this table topic session today comes to an end. I thank all the table topic speakers for actively participating in today's session. Can I get the list of the qualified speakers from the timer, please?
All are qualified except the guest Nitya, since she is completely new to our Medley Toastmasters Club. Dinesh, over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. So, are we having a vote right now? Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Thank you everyone once again for taking part in today's table topic session. It was wonderful to listening to each and everyone's speech, and definitely I hope that particularly the guests will note that table topics will help you, make you think on your feet, because you don't know what topic you're going to speak about. With this, I return control to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh, for the wonderful and thought-provoking session. I like the topics very much. Well, the voting button you saw in the screen, it's a precursor for your April 6th voting. Please ensure that you vote. But only caveat here is there will not be any screen or any voting button that will be coming to your laptop or mobile phone. You have to go to the election booth and have to do that. But this is a precursor. Please ensure that you all do our citizens' duties. With this, we have come to the conclusion of the second session. And then the third session is more of evaluation session on how the entire evaluation has gone through. So as you know, feedback is the breakfast of champions. Don't ask what is a lunch and a dinner. That is also feedback. So the feedback would help to sculpt us to a better person. So for that, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Priyadarshini for the evaluation session.
Thank you, Modi Saravanan. Back to evaluation now. First of all, am I audible? Okay, thank you so much. We all know this evaluator who are known for doing a very tough job. They have to face so much of distraction, and they are made to work hard, and they need to give out their report within such a short period. And they are the one, if no one else is listening, they make sure they are the one who are listening 100%, and they're fully focused on what they're doing. And I'm very happy that I have two very good evaluators and who are ready to evaluate their speakers. First is Toastmaster Sharanya. I had the same question, which is it gadget or human what distracts? She says, it was very different to know this. She says, people, they are sent by God and I don't find them distracting. Gadgets, I know my limits. So to conclude, nothing distracts me. Didn't I say I have a very good team with me? I would like to call Toastmaster Sharanya to evaluate her speaker, Toastmaster John Jaikumar. Over to you, Sharanya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests, and a special good afternoon to my target speaker, Toastmaster John Jaikumar. So, John, I thoroughly enjoyed your speech from the beginning till the end. I was there in most part of the speech craft and also in Medley Toastmasters, traveling along with you. So, I had fun everywhere, so I really enjoyed the speech. So starting with the best part of your speech, you really did a 100% justification to the project objective was given to you about, you shared about the volunteer experience that you have done in your journey. And your vocal variety was very good. Your tone was very clear from the beginning till the end, and the expressions that you gave when you spoke about Dr. Alagappan sir, Dr. Sambat Saurirajan sir, it was like you was very much involved in the speech. We really enjoyed it. And they were like an awesome clarity in your speech. Your speaking language was very easy and it was easily understandable by everybody. So I really enjoyed that part. And the eye contact. So be it an online meeting, it was like you were like really present here. That much, you always have that eye contact, like looking into the focusing on the camera and talking. That was good. And you were very much confident and comfortable in whatever you spoke, right? It was related to Toastmasters and it was great. I really felt like everybody here would have enjoyed the speech because it was related to most of them who are present here. So I would like to go to the area of improvement part. The introduction that you started with, it was like, I would like to share my 2.5 years of experience in my volunteering journey. It could have been like some sort of a positive quote or like something like a motivation to everybody. A quote would have been done good. And I also felt like everything was perfect. If you would have stood and talked, right, it would have been great. And also, one more suggestion is you spoke about Dr. Alagappan sir. Be it today's meeting, like we had like several guests. So being a Toastmasters and connecting with them, we know all of them, but everybody would have not been aware of them. So you would have added something like he is the most humorous speaker, and he said so like this. And also related to Dr. Sambat Saurirajan sir, when you spoke about him, you would have added something like he is the most experienced and senior Toastmaster, so that everybody who got to know like who they are. So these were like my 3 area of improvement suggestions to you. And to conclude, as usual, I enjoyed your speech. It was like full of clarity and with full confidence. Looking forward to your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Yes, thank you, Sharanya. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Dinakaran, who will be evaluating Kalyan's speech. I asked him, he says his only distraction is his laziness. Whenever he finds time, he takes it to relax and waste his time. The only way he wants to improve is by keeping a target, certain goals, and try to work towards it and bring down that laziness level. That's a very thoughtful and a practical example. I like that. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinakaran.
Thank you, G. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. First of all, I would like to salute Toastmaster Kalyan for his commitment, dedication. Toastmaster Kalyan has filled up into different leadership roles at the district and area level. He is still coming to the club and then giving speeches regularly. So with that, I would evaluate his speech, today's speech. Today's speech being the storytelling. I would like to use 5 E's to evaluate the speech. First one is engaging. How engaging the story was given by Toastmaster Kalyan. This is about like how you can transport the audience to the situation and the timeline and also to the characters to the story. I think I would say that it was actually very engaging. I was able to I was like traveling along with Toastmaster Kalyan, Prasanna, Danya, and then I felt that I met with the Kanaharaj who helped them. So it was very engaging. Next one is enthusiasm. when Kalyan spoke about the story, it was like it happened just like yesterday or the last weekend. So it was how enthusiastic it was, and also like I felt that like I was also traveling with all those friends and then taking that road trip to Ooty. It was very so much of enthusiasm into the story. Next one I would talk about like how you are connected with the audience with the emotions, right? So it was very emotionally I was little moved and very moved, like how the third person or the unknown person like Kanaharaj can come into your life and help you with the situation. So a lot of things can happen like this in our life. So it was very emotional at that part of the story. I was very moved. Next one is that how you can emulate the gist of the story in your life and your walks of life, or how you can actually replicate whatever is narrated in your life. So there are a lot of things that you can talk about. Toastmaster Kalyan talked about whether the tamarind rice is divine, just because it is divine, or it is served in temples so that it is divine. So it's a lot of things that we can ponder on this thought process itself. There are a lot of things that has been narrated by Toastmaster Kalyan, which you can ponder around and then you can emulate in your life. The last one is about expression. This was the story that where you have a lot of emotions and it could be like more dramatic. It is like a story where you build a movie, and whatever movie like web series or something that you can put it in. There are a lot of scope for emotions, a lot of scope for being dramatic. There are a lot of scope for comedy. This is one area that I see that where Toastmaster Kalyan lot introduced. For example, when he went for the marathon in the woods and in the streams or the forest, there was a scope that he would have narrated it in a way that with a lot of expressions, and also like when Danya's purse got missed, it was a very dramatic situation. You would have used expressions so that we all feel for that particular situation. So this is one area where the speech would have been a little better in terms of expressions. Otherwise, it was a wonderful story. It was very engaging, and so much of enthusiasm brought in the story, and it was emotionally connected, and we have a lot of things to implement in our life. Thank you. I'll leave it to General Evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinakaran. Before we move on to the tag report, can I know if both the evaluators are qualified? Timer, please.
Yes, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, both are qualified.
Okay, so can we vote for the best evaluator now? Okay, I think till I get it, I will move on to the tag report. Timer, can you please give your report now?
Yeah.
A detailed report.
Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So in terms of prepared speech, both the speakers, they completed it on time. So John spoke about 5 minutes 59 seconds, and Kalyan spoke about 6 minutes 37 seconds. And in table topic session, all are qualified except the guest Nitya, and Thomas, Toastmaster Thomas spoke about 2 minutes 11 seconds, and Venkadeshan 1 minute 44 seconds, Nitya 45 seconds, Anshul 1 minute 7 seconds, Venkatesh 2 minute 8 seconds, Rajini 2 minutes 1 minute 35 seconds, Hariharan 1 minute 16 seconds, Sampath 1 minute 54 seconds. And the evaluators TM Sharanya spoke about 3 minute 5 seconds, and TM Dinakaran spoke about 3 minutes 18 seconds. So all are qualified. Yeah.
Thank you.
Over to you, Toastmaster Priya.
Yes, thank you, Timer. Now request Toastmaster Amitabh to please give her report.
Yes, Julie. Let me just present my screen. I hope all of you can see my screen. Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, your voice is breaking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So this is my counter report for today. And our sergeant at arms Sharanya had 2 hours, 1 hour. and 1 pause. Our presiding officer Raghunath C. Nair had 2 R's, 5 and 1 so, 1 like, 1 repeat and 1 pause. Our Toastmaster Simon and P, who was our TMOD for today, had 1 and 2 well, and 1 but, 1 repeat and 1 pause. Priyadarshini, our general evaluator, and John J. Kumar both had clean speeches. Kudos to them. First evaluator Sharmila AS had 1 R. Our second speaker Kalyan had 1 and 1 pause. Our second evaluator Dinakaran had 1 R, 2 1 and 2 repeats and 1 pause. Our TT Master Dinesh had 2 R's and 1 repeat. Our TT Speaker 1 Thomas T. Abraham had a clean speech. Venkateseshan, our second TT Speaker, had a clean speech. I'm sorry, Thomas T. Abraham sir had 1 R, 1 and 2 pauses. Venkateseshan had a clean speech. Guest Nitya had 4 R, 2 and 1 1 like and 4 repeats. Our guest Anshul had 1 R, 1 1 no, 1 pause. Our guest Rajini had 3 R's, 3 and 1 Guest Hariharan had 6 plus R, 6 plus and 2 so's and 5 plus ands. He had Aishwarya, our timer Aishwarya had 3 R's, 1 and our final speaker Sampath Saurarajan sir had 1 pause. So that's my R counter report for today. I will send across this report through WhatsApp and our chat as well to get a better view of it. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mitang. Remijan, can you please give a report now?
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya Pravoli. I found everyone better than me in terms of the understanding English. So, but I have noted few things. Just I wanted to share over here. Toastmaster John Jayakumar used few words like lead with humor, meticulous, to lead with charismatic leadership. So these are a few interesting phrases and words he used. I didn't find anything wrong in his speech. I didn't find anything wrong in Toastmaster Kalyan's speech as well. Coming to the table topic, here also, I didn't find anything wrong. When Toastmaster DTM Thomas Abrams are cutthroat monopolies, he used this phrase, doggy dog world, and kudos. Few of the interesting words that can be used in our day-to-day life. And Toastmaster Venkatesan, he used the word of the day, crumble once. And he has used a phrase like perceived forward, something I found can be useful. Guest Nitya, I couldn't, I didn't find anything wrong in, means there is nothing I have to say in this, in her speech. And Gus Ansul, thanks for this chance. I think thanks for this opportunity could be a better word to use instead of chance. Coming to Toastmaster Venkatesan, they have shifted many departments. I think instead of that, they have transferred me to multiple divisions or departments could be a better sentence. Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, during my childhood days, one of my dream is, instead of is, it can be was, instead of my childhood days, one of my dream was is the appropriate sentence. That's what I felt. DTM Sampath Soryarajan, interesting words like boast, rock-like components of an association. So a phrase definitely I found interesting. And Dinakaran's the 5 E's are definitely unique words like engaging, enthusiasm, emotion, emulate, expression. Definitely these are the words which can be very useful in our day-to-day life. I didn't find any other points specific to mention during my grammarian. Maybe I'm not that skilled in English, but I have something to share over here. I have seen like the unchanged form of verb when using the phrase like look forward to. I will just share my screen. Yeah. So here generally we use like we look forward to meet him, or I look forward to hear from you. So this is something wrong, and the proper way of using is the ing form, like we look forward to meeting him, I look forward to hearing from you, and she didn't look forward to working with them. So this is something that I feel like sharing with you, and with this I transfer to Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra. This report was indeed very helpful to all of us. Very good thing. Now I think it's time for me to give my report. Medley is known for its meticulous work, and bang on 2:55, we started our time and we proved we are right again. TMOD prepared us, showing us then, now, and how future hybrid meeting is going to happen. We have two wonderful speakers. One talked about his role as VPM leader, and then talking as how he's going to head the speakers forum. One speech was mind-boggling, another placed tickled our senses with his tamarind rice. Very interesting and different style of speeches we got to hear today. Then there was PT Master. I think the slides were not properly displayed, and we felt it is going to crumble upon, but he swiftly moved back to an interactive question answers kind of session by repeating the quote to make the speaker understand the question. He did a very good job by bringing out a solution at a very quick way. The best part was guests. They talked about dreaming big, knowing our true friends, and they were very confident when they answered for the first time to our TT Master. Good job by all our guests today. Evaluators, they evaluate in a very friendly way. They were very simple tips given to the speakers. Now coming to what are the corrections we need to do so that we don't repeat such mistake. Firstly, it was a general evaluator. She should have corrected her, voice, because I got so many of my friends saying my voice is not feeble. General evaluator is a very crucial rule, and we need to make each and every point very clear when we start the meeting. Also, this mistake could have been corrected by me if I had checked my voice before I started the meeting. Then TT slides, yes, as we saw, he was not able to show. If there was slide, I'm sure it made a very good impact on all the viewers. Other thing was when the tag report, we giving their report today, we saw there was so much of echo from the background. We need to see why exactly, what was the problem here. Offline meeting, we are here, those sitting in the office, whenever you came here to give the speech, your voice was very feeble. Was it just for me, or everyone felt the same? I felt next time when we go, those who are on the other side, when you give a speech, we would like to see your voice to be a bit stronger next time. Overall, I think by taking all these mistakes into consideration, our meeting is definitely going to come out in a very qualitative way. And I look forward to hearing from you all very soon. Over to you, TMOD Sarvanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, for the detailed evaluation session. Now, like coming back to the topic, there is a lot of echo coming. I don't know, not from me. Okay, so going back to the topic, we saw like what is the way forward for the next great disruption, right? That is the remote working as well as the hybrid working model. There are 5 ways we can address this. First one is on creating a plan to empower your resources. That is first thing. Second thing is invest on the space as well as technology for combining or bridging both the physical as well as digital worlds. And the third one is combat the digital exhaustion from the top, because digital exhaustion, even during the team meeting today also, somebody told about the exhaustion, stress level, right? So that is something we have to avoid. Fourth thing is prioritization, social building, and capital and culture. So these are the four important words. We have to take it up. And then rethinking employee experience to compete for the best and most diverse talent. So diverse talent, that is the key here. We have to invest on that. So these are the 5 different ways where we can make the remote working as well as the hybrid working model more effectively. With this, I have come to the end of my session as well. But before that, I mean, there is one more special session today, that is the panel discussion. But before going to panel discussion, there will be a voting screen that will be coming to you. And please ensure that you vote for the best role player, evaluator, and best tag player. Well, the next section is on the panel discussion. So for taking us through that session, we have DTM Guru Prasad. He is a senior consulting manager, India delivery head at Spera, and he has been actively involved with Toastmasters since 2011. He has held various positions as division governor, area governor, president, VP of Medley Toastmasters Club. Please put your hands to welcome DTM Guru Prasad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Can I have a mic check? Are you able to hear me? Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be a moderator for conducting this panel discussion on mentoring for 2 reasons. One is this is the USP topic of Toastmasters itself. The best thing, apart from learning your public speaking skills and leadership skills, the one more thing that you learn from Toastmasters is all about mentoring. Secondly, I am also proud to be moderating this session with panelists, such a kind of dignified panelists that we have from our Medley. So our panelists would be Distinguished Toastmaster VN Subramanian, fondly called as VNS, Distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan, Distinguished Toastmaster Suganti Periyasamy, Toastmaster. So let us begin. In Odyssey, the famous Egyptian epic called Odyssey, the hero of the epic, Odysseus, when he wants to go to the Trojan War, to attend to the Trojan War or fight in the Trojan War, he wants to make sure that his son Telemachus is handed over to somebody so that he could be groomed well for his life, because he was not sure how many years it will take for him to come back. So he wanted to make sure that his son is handed over to somebody responsible who can take care of his son, grow him well to be a better person. And that person whom Odysseus selected is named as mentor. That mentor taught all the skills necessary for his son to grow up, and hence his name became a global noun for all those people who help others to grow up in their life, in their career, or whatever they need. So we call them as mentors. It has become a general noun, not a name of a person. Basically, what do mentors do? I'm talking in general. Mentors are someone who come close to you, take a personal interest, and help you out in becoming successful or learning a skill or grow up well in your career or personal life. They offer all the knowledge, insight, perspective, wisdom that they've gained in their life to you so that you can follow and grow well. They also serve as role model, coach, and confidant for you. Your one-stop shop for your growth. It's no doubt that Toastmasters International adapted this formula methodology and has made mentoring as a very important process in your Toastmasters journey. We're going to see all about it from the voices of all our experienced Toastmasters in this session. So I would like to begin requesting every panelist to give an opening statement basically based on their life as a protege or a mentee when they entered the career, and about their mentor and how they made the best use of their mentor. Let us open with distinguished Toastmaster VNS, who is our guiding light, co-founder of this whole Medley Toastmasters Club, the founding president of this club. Over to you, DTM VNS. Kindly let us share your experience as a mentee.
Sir, excuse me, can you someone mute in person? I think the noise is coming from that, from the in-person session. Maybe Toastmaster Aishwarya can mute.
I was thinking that how V.N. Subramaniam is speaking like this, you know. There was somebody
sorry.
different. Without the next great disruption, I think it will not be this panel discussion, you know. It will not be the next great disruption. And my mentors were, most of them were Pakistanis. And my first mentor was Mr. Iqbal, but he's no more now. And it is not the type of mentoring now what we are doing. Now the script will be sent to the mentor, and he will, like a school teacher, correct all the things, spelling mistakes and all, and then send it back to the prodigy. I think my opening statement is the mentor and the prodigy. All the regulations, rules are same. They should trust each other first, then listen. The mentor should listen to the prodigy, understand. There should be an understanding between the prodigy and the mentor about all the aspects. The mentor should try to understand the mentee, the attitude, behavior, achievements, the wavelength, and then without any partisan outlook or any indifference, the mentor should work for the elevation and improvement of the mentee.
Thank you very much, sir. I move on to distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Saurirajan to give his opening statement about his initial days as a mentee and his mentor. Sir, you are on mute. You are on mute.
A lot of people will like me to be mute. Maybe that has come today. Anyway, am I audible now? Okay.
Yes.
I joined Toastmasters as a charter member of a new club that we started in Bahrain. It's called Tasca Toastmasters. And the president of Tasca Toastmasters was one Gita Ponnuchami. She was a CTM those days, competent Toastmaster. She was my assigned mentor. And for several of my CC speeches, I have always consulted her before and shown my script, got some ideas, made some modifications, not all of them, of course. This is one side, but very early I realized our club being new, most of them were fresh Toastmasters. They want to learn more, learn better, learn faster. I have to expand my mentor base. So I started attending a lot of other club meetings, like Indian Club Toastmasters, Sri Lankan Symposium, Karnataka Toastmasters, and one or two more. And even Manama Toastmasters I have attended a few times. The mentors there were mostly silent mentors. They didn't tell me what to do, but they showed by their doing what they were doing. So one thing which I decided after finishing my icebreaker was I will listen to at least 2 speeches of each project in CC manual outside my club before I myself do that. That was one more mentor. And to end my initial statement, unknowingly or knowingly, DTM VNS was also one of my mentors because we used to have a lot of discussions. So every discussion, he being a senior man with experience, I was receiving more knowledge and wisdom from him. So though he was not a designated mentor, he was also one of my mentors. Back to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Let us move on to distinguished Toastmaster Suganti about her experience as a mentee and about her mentor. Over to you, Suganti.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad. Good evening, Medleyans and guests. My mentor in Toastmasters is DTM Oman John. I joined Toastmasters in the year 2010 as part of TCS Maitri Chennai Toastmasters Club. The club itself was a nascent club because we were just hardly a year old. And when I joined Toastmasters, I was this bubbly, enthusiastic girl who kind of didn't know whether I belonged in Toastmasters or whether Toastmasters is not a forum for me. DTM Oman John patiently listened to all that I had to say over a cup of coffee, not in a very formal environment, which I think helped us to form a very good rapport. So, as a mentor, he came across to me as a very friendly person. And of course, during my competent communication journey, he was also one mentor who he was also one evaluator who evaluated most of my projects. So whenever I had to repeat a project to better fulfill the project objectives, he was able to put it across to me in a way that I would feel good about repeating a project and I would not feel penalized. So that is another thing that I highly admire in my mentor, making me feel good about my accomplishment and also helping me understand where I could do better rather than putting me small is another thing that I like with my mentor. Another thing is since we were a small club and we were also quite a challenging club in the terms, we fell from 85 members to 6 members and I was requested to take up the role of a vice president membership. So we were this ambitious club who was trying to build up the membership. At the same time, Medley was also going through a rough phase. So on Wednesdays, DTM Umar John, myself, and a bunch of TCS Toastmasters, we met within the TCS premises. And on Saturdays, we would come over to Medley to help Medley run the meetings. So at times we used to wonder whether we are taking a lot of Toastmaster projects onto our plate. But once DTM Oman John felt that some of us could do a little more on confidence by taking up roles in both the clubs, he in fact motivated us to step out of our club and to learn from the other clubs, although there were hiccups. So I think as a mentee, as a protege, I have immensely benefited from my mentor being a very friendly person because he took the first step in getting to know me better. He knew how to motivate me and he also could tell the areas of improvement in a not so hurting manner. And thirdly, whenever we were ambitious, he was like the wind beneath my wings, helping me to propel forward. Over to DTM Guru Prasad.
Thank you, Suganti. Over to you, Toastmaster John Jaikumar. Let us hear from you about your experiences from the days of being a mentee and about your mentor.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad. Before I share my experience, I would like to say that I consider this an honor and privilege to be in the panel with veteran Toastmasters, right? Our founder president, DTM VNS, our founder vice president, DTM Sampath. They are leading by examples in a volunteer organization, right? They may not be holding positions. Their presence here is inspiring us. And 2 district officers, right? TTM Suganti and TTM Guru. So definitely it's an honor for me to be on this panel. And I'm going to draw from my experience as a mentor in the industry as well as in Toastmasters because my experience as a mentor in Toastmasters is very limited. So as a mentee, my experience, my mentor here, by the way, is distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Jose. So over the years, I think we have kind of got into a frequency alignment that we think alike, right? So even before I tell him what is the speech, he kind of knows what I'm going to talk. So I don't really send my script to DTM Sunil. So whenever we talk about any of the projects that I'm working on, I just give him a gist of what the project is, and he doesn't give very specific feedback. At a very high level, he highlights certain points which kind of makes me think in the right direction. So I think that as a mentor, it is very important that rather than getting too tactical, right, to be at a very high level and let the protege think and then get the solutions out. And from the industry, I want to call out this one example. I had a mentor in my initial days, and I was scheduled to have lunch with one of a very senior leaders from the company. He doesn't do lunches with employees that often. So I was kind of nervous, and I went to my mentor and I asked him, what should I do? He said this, in work, every minute is an interview. At work, every minute is like an interview. It was a very profound statement that has helped me in multiple instances. So when we go to mentors, I think what they tell us is not just for that specific instance, but that's going to help us in different situations throughout our life. Over to you.
Thank you, John. Audience, I hope you had a very good feeling about, at least you're beginning to get the feeling about the mentors and the protege relationship and how you can make effective use of in Toastmasters. Moving on to further discussions with the panelists, is one thing I found during my earlier days. DTM Sundararaman was my mentor. But DTM Sundaram, I know him for decades. He is my very personal friend, colleague, and we had so many common interests. So when he came to me one day and said, I'm going to be your mentor, I said, okay, so what, Sundar? It's fine. But I never realized that how to make use of my mentor, how to make use of how to reach out to him, how to get his advice on certain activities. Until, ironically, the day when I started having mentees or I started mentoring people, they became my mentors actually in teaching me how to be a good mentor. Toastmasters Alagu Bharati, Toastmaster Kritika, while training them or helping them out, I realized that I could have done better if I had reached out to my mentor in my earlier days properly. So I posed this question to DTM Suganti. Suganti, you have been a typical entry-level Toastmaster and you moved on to various levels. Now you are the regional advisor. You've seen so many leadership positions across Toastmasters. So how did you make use of the mentor program? Is it only like Toastmasters, DTM VNS said, sending speeches, scripts and getting them corrected like a school teacher, or did your mentors stay behind you at every level of your growth? Or do you, Suganti?
Yeah, thank you, DTM Guru. That was a very interesting question. All through my competent communication journey, in my script, I never wrote the conclusion. The conclusion would evolve as and when I deliver the speech. So for me, my mentor gave me the freedom at times to exchange the script. Sometimes he would just brainstorm the idea and I would write the script. So he understood where I required the freedom and where I required the handholding. And since we both established a good rapport, I was also able to approach him and said, can you please review the script? And for this particular project, I think I'm going to probably script a portion of the speech and take the remaining off the cuff. So that kind of a freedom I also had with him to ask questions, and he also gave me the liberty to utilize his services as appropriate. In the leadership journey, coincidentally, when he served as an area director, he requested me to come on board as his assistant area director. And that was the time DTM Woman John was also newly married, and I had the opportunity to organize an area contest. And that was the first time that I stepped out of my club, randomly calling people to find a venue for area contest to get the audio and video equipments. That time, DTM Woman
he knew that I will be able to run the area contest. So he was not he was not being that micromanager area director. At the same time, he was not being that overprotective mentor of mine, guiding me from step to step. He just outlined all the responsibilities that I have to do, and he also gave me a picture of some of the blunders that I might do. He would always say, make new mistakes, don't repeat my own mistakes, because we can learn from new mistakes, and that will be a better learning journey. As far as my leadership is concerned, once I moved on to my division director and my club group director terms, DTM Oman John and I, we still were working out of TCS Chennai. So I had a lot of time to brainstorm certain things that was going on in my mind, and always take his wise counsel on things that wherever I had a doubt. Then he moved on to Japan and Netherlands, and our exchanges became only on vital or very essential topics. That time I did have mentors like DTM Nina John or DTM Sarovel Rajan, and of course I was really blessed to have uh, the, 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 the freedom to reach out to beautiful human beings like past international director DTM Nagaraj Rao, and the immediate past international president DTM Deepak Menon, where I was able to ask them silly doubts, and they were also willing to guide me, because I had this. I told them that I had this willingness to learn and to do the things correctly, and they also had the genuineness and the generosity to spend time with me. So for my leadership journey, I did look at people, and many of my learnings were by observation and of course brainstorming with my various mentors. But as far as the scripting is concerned, it was entirely DTM Omen John who gave me the liberty to utilize the services as I deemed it required. Over to DTM Guru.
So even when you became the district director, did you still need a mentor, because you're already the head of the whole family? Did you need a mentor at that time? Did you make use of a mentor?
Yes, very much. I strongly believe that all through our life, we definitely need a sounding board, because people who are part of our team might see an event or a problem in the same perspective as we would see it. So you wouldn't at times get different opinions or viewpoints, and sometimes even you would not be able to weigh the pros and cons of it just by listening to your team members. And that is when a mentor comes into picture, where they will be able to look at it from a third person's viewpoint, and will be able to tell you things blatantly. Now for our team members, we all like to coexist together in an amicable situation. So at times, being in this Indian mentality, if I would say, where we usually don't speak up to a person who is older to us, either in age or by designation, we withheld our thoughts. So a mentor has all the liberty to say, what nonsense are you doing with this particular idea or something. I think a sounding board is very much essential at all points of a life.
Thank you very much, Sugandhi. That was the message I wanted you to convey to the audience. Being a mentee doesn't mean you are someone junior, you are innocent, or you are inferior. It only means you are seeking for some extra support where you lack some confidence. There you go and reach out to mentor wherever you are, whatever level you are. So now, taking a cue from what you said about looking at the mentor in the initial days. Even I also had sometimes, whenever I used to see a new manager jumping in or getting into a new organization, first few days I'll have this uneasiness with the leadership level of people over there. This I have seen also happening in mentee-mentor relationship. Who is to start? Who is to break the ice? Sometimes, for example, on a lighter note, a college student joining Medley is assigned DTM Sampath Rajan as his her mentor, and he unfortunately resembles the dreaded principal of his college. So he may even find it very hesitant to reach out to him. What he may think if I ask this, is it okay to ask him? Will he be free enough to advise him? So maybe John, being the latest entrant into Toastmasters in this panel, just in terms of calendar, you can share your experience on how do you advise people to break the ice or the first initial contact with the mentor? Over to you, John.
Yeah, I think the question as to whether the mentor should approach the protege or the protege should approach the mentor. I think there is this famous saying, right? The student is ready. The master appears when the student is ready, right? Or when the student is ready, the master appears. So I think it is important for the protege to first understand that there is a certain benefit that they get by getting mentored. And as distinguished Toastmaster Srimati rightly pointed out, you might be at any level in your career or at any point in your journey in Toastmasters. A mentor can always help. So I think it is important for the protege to initiate that and then find a suitable mentor in terms of alignment of time and what is it that exactly need, and is the mentor the right person to mentor them, and go with an open mind. That is also important, right? To kind of not have any prejudice before approaching the mentor, right? To take an open slate and say, okay, this is what I need and what is it that you can offer me. So that would certainly help.
Thank you. I think that answers some of the new joiners in Medley. Don't hesitate. Be open with your mentor, whoever he is. There are no barriers. There are no differences. Based on that, I have a question to DTM BNS. So it also, when you are a mentor, you might get different kinds of proteges with respect to gender, with respect to their nativity, with respect to at your level, with respect to their nationality, culture, everything. So how do you approach a mentor? You have been a mentor to so many people, even outside of India, sir. So how do you approach the mentor? How do you understand some of these fundamental facts about your mentee? So I'm sorry, it's not mentor. As a mentor, how would you approach your mentee and understand about him in all these aspects? Start helping them out, sir, or to you.
I don't believe in that, the mentoring is made in a very scientific way, and, you give a lot of panel discussion and all, and make it a scientific process. We are all mentored right from the birth. Every time we were mentored. So mentoring is nothing but our right. And in my case, I mentored even Bahrainis, Arabs, Sri Lankans and all. There is no difference. The mentor is an open book. Mentor is an open book to listen to the prodigy. And whatever difficulties, we will solve their problems. And teach them how to gain more knowledge, wisdom, and also improve their observation and reading. Now the main problem is the manual itself is not read. Everybody's manual is remaining as new as it was given to them. And it is not opened, and the reading should be there. Second thing is that, I used to tell youngsters, even if you have any love problem also, you come to me as a mentor. Because a mentor is a guide, an open book to the prodigy. Both mentor and mentee are benefited. It is not that prodigy only is benefited. Mentor is also benefited by the mentoring process. And you are not like that, the present day, if you ask, who is a mentor? I don't know. And where is the mentor? I am searching for the mentor. And the mentor is not available. The only thing which is happening is sending the script to the mentor, and the mentor will correct or not correct and send it back. This is not mentoring. The real mentoring is open all the avenues for the mentee to improve and see, notice, and evaluate after the speech how they perform. It is not that they are reading the script alone, how they perform. There are various things in Toastmasters basics which has to be taught. Many people, even now, they don't know even to address. They will come and say, my Mr. President, Mr. Toastmaster, and also see now this type of basic things have to be taught in orientation, and the mentor should be a close guide, guiding the prodigy in all aspects, right from knowledge, communication, listening, observation. And observation also, there are so many things to observe. And humor, to be a humorous person, some people, they never laugh. They tight-lipped, they never laugh. So there is nothing wrong in smiling at others. One smile can solve 10 problems. And make them to understand that the thing is the relationship should be harmonious.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mutual respect and mutual trust.
Thank you, sir. The message goes to the audience that mentoring and being a protege is mutual. It's not one-sided, or you just don't think of the other person to come and reach out to you. Now, before I go to the open forum, my last question is to distinguished Toastmaster Sampath Rajan. Sir, you have mentored a lot of people both inside and outside of India, and one good thing I have observed is you volunteer. You, even if nobody understands how to reach out a mentor, you go and volunteer and pick out someone, you start teaching them. So there's a question which has part A and part B that I would like to ask you. One is, when someone comes to you as a mentor, requests your help, first of all, you need to make an evaluation of that person. So what are the criteria that you use to make evaluation? Secondly, how do you do self-evaluation of yourself? This is an advice to all mentors, to make sure as a mentor you have succeeded, or what are the goals that you set to yourselves on becoming a successful mentor. This could be a lesson for all mentors as well. So question one is, how do you evaluate your mentee? Question two is, how do you evaluate yourself as a mentor? Or do you, sir?
The question one about how to evaluate the mentee. When you choose a path in pathways, the person, new member, let us say, has to, the new member has to understand his past, his strengths, his weaknesses, and where he has reached, and then his short-term and long-term goals. Based on that only he has to choose the path. Same way, the mentor should understand the current status of the mentee, where he is, what are his strengths and weaknesses, more importantly, what are his concerns. Some mentees have got some problem, they are afraid of something, they are having worries about something. This also you have to understand. It takes a few meetings and few discussions, but one way to do is over the coffee time. It is very easy in corporate labs, but outside it may look tough. But in Chennai itself, 4 or 5 people I have taken to a coffee place where there's no other disturbance, spend more than 1 hour. Simply ask a few question tags and then let them say something. So this way you can understand. One important part of your evaluation is what they actually want. You should not decide on, okay, this is what they need. Okay. Maybe there is something which they have not even thought about, but that comes as point number 2. With the point number 1 is what they actually want. Even in Medley, a couple of people I have taken to Coffee Central or somewhere and spent some time. This can be easily done. And once you do this is like a real icebreaker. After that, you can have more interaction. Very important thing is the frequency of interaction, because the quantum of interaction will slowly generate the closeness, a free way of discussing and asking things and getting things done, all those things. If you rarely look at a mentee on 2 days before he is giving a speech, a script, this famous joking question comes, you send the script and then you say, correct the spelling mistake or something like this. It's a very silly thing. In this way, they will not really develop a rapport also. So now coming to the second question which you have told about the mentoring evaluation, the most important indicator for this is the mentee's response as time passes. That is the most important thing. For example, you may be doing a very good mentoring job, but if that doesn't fit the specific mentee and he has not been really benefiting from that and he's not very happy about it, that is it. You have to understand that. You cannot say, no, I have done very good mentoring, he is no good. The point is not whether he is good or no good. Whatever he is, at that point, how you are trying to help him, that is the point. So the self-evaluation comes as a continuous process. Actually, you don't have to do things in a specific way, but there are certain tables and questions you can do it. One simplest indicator is whether the mentee comes back to you again and again. If he hesitates and he starts slowly going away from you, means you have failed with respect to that mentee. Not that you have failed overall, but with respect to that mentee you have failed. This is one easy way of evaluation. Of course, TTM Ashok will probably be doing training in Medley shortly. What President knows is it is about goal setting specifically for mentors and mentees. So, and that gives a very good framework for the type of evaluation you are mentioning. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, the panelists, for this fabulous inputs from you. Before we move on to audience asking their own questions, before I leave it to this audience forum, let me sum up what we identified from our dignified panelists. One point they mentioned is the mentor-mentor relationship shall be complete.
One thing, Guru Prasad, I just wanted to emphasize is Toastmasters forum is to learn and teach from each other. So why Toastmasters leave? They have a job to teach also, no? They learn, they go.
Great, sir.
Not like that. Teach and learn from each other.
Yeah, sure, sir. So that's one lesson, that mentor-mentee relationship is mutual, and you reach out to the mentor just not for your speech scripts or correcting your grammar or English. You reach out for every step. As Suganti said, even when she was the district director, she had a mentor. She reached out somewhere. And I know I had a mentee. She said, I'm going to another club for playing the role of a grammarian. Since I'm more used to Medley's way of grammarian, Guru, can you tell me how should I behave as a generic grammarian? And even after migrating outside of India, from US, she calls me here and there, I'm going to participate in a contest. Can you? She is still considering me as a mentor, though I am no longer a formal mentor for us. And as John was expressing, you just break those ice. Don't feel that uncomfort zone. Mentor is always there to help, and because he is just passing on a legacy, he got something from his mentor. And lastly, as DTM Sampath Saurirajan said, approach them as a human. Understand do a SWOT analysis in whatever way you can do on your mentee and find out what best you can do to grow them as a leader. And the best way to evaluate your performance is whether your mentee comes back to you for his or her next speech or next performance is where you evaluate. So I think we got a good picture from all these people about how a mentor should behave and how a mentee should make use of it, how mutually they get benefited. Now for the next a few minutes, I leave the forum open for individuals to ask specific questions to specific panel members. Over to you, audience. You can unmute yourselves and ask specific questions if there are any. Even guests can ask questions if you are in doubt. Others can ask. Any specific?
Yeah, hi, this is Venkataseshan. So this is the question to the entire panelists. So in a typical mentoring process, mentor cannot provide or give all information or the resources which are required for the mentee. So how Toastmasters International helps mentors in this entire process? What are the different resources it provides and how it enables this mentoring process in a more structured way?
Maybe can I pass it on to DTM Sampath Saurirajan, sir, on about how the Toastmasters Forum helps?
Okay. See, the Toastmaster Forum has always held the mentoring at a very high level. But unfortunately, mentoring was not given the same importance from meeting to meeting as evaluation has been given. Even today, the general evaluator says the evaluation is a very important point. From that feedback, we learn and improve. But in quality management, we should do it right first time, which means proactive mentoring is more important than reactive evaluation. Prevention is better than cure. But officially, mentoring is not incorporated inside the club meeting schedule like evaluation has been. So we have to again and again re-emphasize the importance of mentoring at the club level and to now, PE literature, earlier time, it was not so strong in that, though they also said mentoring is important. But in pathways, they have made it obviously more important by having a second level project of introduction to mentoring. Because earlier times, a lot of people were not ready to become mentors, they were reluctant. So now everybody reads about the introduction to mentoring, and then the next stage there is a project called Prepare to Mentor. Next there is a project called one-off project mentoring. Then finally a project of 6-month mentoring, advanced mentoring. You do all these things, they even give you a designation called officially a Toastmaster mentor. So that much importance Toastmaster has given. And even from the olden times, there is a module on mentoring. In Toastmaster, official module on mentoring. A lot of writing is there in many places. If you go to the Toastmaster resources and type mentoring and search, you will have a lot of information. And on top of that, now if you want to give more importance to that from meeting to meeting, one way we have started in Medley is to put the mentor's name in the agenda. So we are facilitating that. Now the mentor, you become more important. Let us say people come to you and they ask a question for which you don't have an answer. There is no shame for that because nobody knows everything. The mentor can ask another Toastmaster, another senior or his own mentor or write to Toastmaster International and get the response for that. So we have got enough resources inside the club, inside the district and directly with the Toastmaster International to get support when a mentor is not able to help. But normally this is a rare condition because a mentee is not going to ask the mentor, can you finance me for taking a movie or something like that. He's going to ask things which are in the Toastmaster manual. So the mentor will be able to read it or he might have already gone through that. He will be able to explain that. Rarely this may happen where there are other resources to resort to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. As DTM Sir Rajan was explaining, Toastmasters International portal itself, you can go and just search for mentoring. It gives you a lot of information on that. But again, I hope you would have understood by now that the starting point, even for this question, should be your mentor. I would suggest you go to your mentor and start asking him to explain to you how does this mentoring process work. So you can then he will guide you to various people, various portals and that. So considering I already have the red light, thank you very much for all the participants of the panel for sharing your wisdom and knowledge on this area called mentoring. Just to sum up, saying that, dear Toastmasters, make use of this mentoring process, and my advice is take it beyond Toastmasters Club. So I was mentored by a Toastmaster from Medley Club when I had to present myself for the final round of interview to get selected in Accenture. He spent 3 days with me. He even taught me how to sit if it is a table, how to sit if it's a remote video call, how to keep my face, how to answer. Even the self-introduction, the first question in any interview, self-introduction, he trained 5 different ways of answering it. The history is I worked in Accenture for 5.5 years and recently quit. So that final interview was mentored by one of our Toastmaster friends. So make use, I'm not saying exactly these are the materialistic benefits you get out of it. Make use of mentoring both within Toastmasters as well as outside of Toastmasters. Reach out to people in your profession or in your society to learn something. Also, you impart your knowledge to others across the areas. Be a good protege as well as be a good mentor. Thank you very much, Medley, for this opportunity, and thanks to all the panelists. Bye. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad, for moderating the panel discussion. I'm very sure this is having nearly 60+ years of pure Toastmasters' wisdom, experience, and knowledge in this entire panel. And thank you for taking us through this wonderful discussion. I am sure like there is a lot of learning for everybody in this discussion. And with this, we have come to the end of this entire Toastmasters session. And I would like to hand over to the president for concluding the proceedings. Over to the president.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharon. Let's all give Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sharon, a big round of applause for a wonderful meeting, especially talking about the disruptions and things like that. Good job, and we really enjoyed. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharon. The other key point, I really want to thank the distinguished panel moderated by DTM Guru and our charter president, DTM VNS, DTM Sampad, Toastmaster John, and our region advisor, DTM Sugandhi. Really appreciate that wonderful session. We will have it as in the recordings soon, so that the other members of the Medley can understand and about one of the beautiful things that we get in Toastmasters. And it has personally helped me because it has helped me even to break the ice between you and your seniors. And that's the kind of mentor-mentee relationships which helps you as a Toastmaster. A wonderful program, Toastmasters. Now, before we close the thing, I really want to appreciate Toastmaster Aishwarya as a debutant timer. She did a wonderful job and really need to appreciate it. Now, just a few, I would like to get some feedback from the guest, Sridhar. How did you find that whole meeting?
Yeah, it was a wonderful meeting. Actually, even my daughter was there. She will be planning to join the club also. I'm facing some issues of audio, video here. That's why I couldn't come for the table topics. Yeah, so it was really, really great. I really liked the meeting, and it was very interesting and thought-provoking also. I would like to join again and again. My daughter will be joining your club anyway. She is Shruti. She came, and then due to some audio issues, she went away. Okay. It was really, really a great meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Guest Rajni, how did you find it? Are you there? And to all the other members, I really wanted to talk to Guest Nitya, where we were able, she was not able to complete her.
Your voice is breaking.
Sorry, we are getting echo. It's not clear.
It's not clear.
We're getting echo from your voice.
Okay, let me try. Okay. Is it okay?
Now it's better. Yeah, it's okay.
Fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Excellent. Okay. I actually wanted to talk to Gus Nitya, where she was not able to complete that 1 minute of the table topic session. I wanted to encourage because it was the same thing which I felt like I was seeing, and even I was looking at myself when I was not able to speak even for 30 seconds when I first went into a Toastmaster meeting, and I was dumbstruck. So that happens. I think if we have a number, I think we need to speak to her and understand, like, that was okay, kind of thing to have in any of the Toastmaster meeting. And there we learned with all the help of what we heard for last 30 minutes about how mentor-mentee relationships helps you as a speaker. So another quick reminders, who has not done your pathway, initial pathway, please go ahead and complete it before 31st. Just for the clarification of the new members, these are the pathway is available only to members who has renewed in October 2020. It's not for the new members who has joined recently, so they don't get that chance of the additional pathways. Then the membership, I wanted to have, whoever has not renewed, please contact Toastmasters Sharanya, our treasurer, to get it renewed. And now, and also I wanted to really appreciate our Toastmaster Raghubai taking up the role of grammarian after a very long gap of 6 months where he was taking sabbatical. Welcome back, Toastmaster Raghubai. And now to announce the winners of today, the best table topic goes to DTM Thomas Abraham. The best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Sharanya. And the best tag player goes to Raghubai, Raghubai Mishra. And the best role player goes to Toastmaster Sharanya. And the last is the best speaker goes to Toastmaster John. And congratulations to all the winners. And I also wanted, along with these winners, I also wanted to talk about the Triple Crown Award winners of our club. They have done a fabulous job, which is a reflection of the dedication and perseverance that we have as a Toastmaster, like Toastmaster Sharon, Toastmaster John, BPM Thomas, Toastmaster Dinesh. They have done almost completed 3 levels of pathways in 1 minute. So that's something really, and Toastmaster Tagline, BPM Tagline. So that's these members. Really, congratulations. A big round of applause to them. A wonderful job and a true reflection of to the new members on what they need to look into as a perseverance.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a point?
Yes, please.
One Toastmaster asked Dr. Shabrida about the mentoring process international. There are different certifications for mentoring also.
Yes.
In fact, I'm a certified mentor.
Okay.
By the Toastmasters International, which I am not saying for that. There are a lot of other trainings for mentoring also.
Okay.
So there are so many trainings going.
Thank you so much, DTM. Thanks for that information. Now, with that, I close our meeting number at 618, and we look forward to a wonderful next month where we have a lot of one joint meeting and also some seniors coming and speaking about mentoring and the mentors being. That's something which we want to develop as a club in Medley, the relationship between mentor and mentee and the advantage which you get in that process as a Toastmaster. So with that, I wish everyone a very fabulous evening and a weekend. And with this imaginary gavel, let me close the meeting number 618, opening the forum for the largest chat room. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So is Bonda Bhaji being served nowadays in the physical meeting?